Hello and welcome back to yet another Zombie Survivors. So this actually just got an update. Yes, it just got an update and they added a whole new class. And I'm actually attempting, or I'm on a quest right now to actually unlock that class. It is the Pyro class. I'm extremely excited about it. There's actually a bunch of additional achievements and all kinds of other items and improvements as well in this update. And I'm always extremely impressed with whatever update they decide to bring out. This developer really seems to have huge passion for their game. If you want to check out the game, by the way, there is a link in the description. This is definitely something you want to check out if you're into these kinds of things. I personally am. I'm going to be going for ice damage mostly in this particular run, so I'm going to be taking 30% additional ice damage. And basically my entire build right now is revolving around elemental damage, of course, because what I want to do is inevitably I want to increase my ability to deal damage as much as possible with elemental effects so that I can unlock the pyro as fast as I can. That's it. That's the only reason why I want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for electrocution here. I also have energy shield, of course. I would like to get more of that if at all possible, so we're going to try to do that. They've added this new power-up system as well called military training. Basically, it's a new power-up that you can pick up from zombies that you defeat. And this power-up, if you collect 4 of them, gives you a random chance to get something really, really good. Like, for example, you saw there that I just took, I don't know, I just took some random common upgrade, but there was actually a legendary upgrade that I could have taken, and that would have been a much better idea for me to go for, but I'm a bit stupid sometimes, so I missed it. But that doesn't matter, because we are inevitably going to be able to get that. I'm actually just going to re-roll this for now. I'm going to get Energy Shield rank 2. Now, I have actually been playing a lot of this in the past. I wasn't actually aware that there was a new update, and then I found out that there was one. So this is obviously great, because that means that I can play some more of this, because I actually, as I said, I have actually played this according to Steam for a long time, quite a lot. I do like this. I do like this game quite a lot. Anyway, movement speed, there we go. And that's the thing. It has become a lot better with every single update. No matter what happens whenever they update it, it always seems like a really, really good push forward. Because they've obviously added a new level. This is obviously the basic level that I'm playing right now, but they did add a new level. And that's obviously not what I'm playing right now, but they did add a new level. I'm going to go for ability damage here, because I actually want to increase my ability damage as much as possible, just to, you know, buff that elemental damage as much as I can with my engineer, because obviously the engineer is the main reason why I'm doing any damage right now, I think, to the majority of the horde at least. But yeah, otherwise, apart from that, we also, of course, have these antidote flasks, and these are absolutely fantastic. I would also like to try and unlock the Medic's rank 3, because here's the thing, basically. In this game, whenever you're playing as the leader of your squad, so for example, whenever you pick a character, that is the leader of your squad when you first go in, because you start off with only one survivor at the very beginning, and then you can slowly unlock others when you are able to liberate survivors from, for example, that power-up that you just saw me pick up there. That was basically an opportunity to gain that, to gain an additional person for your squad if you want to. And that's what I'm attempting to do here. Obviously, I already have 3, so it doesn't really matter, but it does give you an additional power-up. Anyway, I'm going to go for Energy Shield rank 4. That is actually maxed out now, so we're going to have a really, really good time there. And here we go. Okay, look, we've actually got a rare one right here. I'm going to go for Lifesteal Chance 1%. Not that good, but 1% with every single hit, and I'm hitting almost all the time. I think it's probably going to be extremely useful. But yeah, this new military training power-up thing, I think that's a wonderful addition to the game as well, because that actually provides you with a significant benefit, and if you get lucky, you're going to be getting even more. So anyway, we're just going to go for multi-shot here. I do want to try and level up the Huntress so that the Huntress can actually start dealing elemental damage, because as it is right now, we actually are not able to deal elemental damage. Oh, there we go, look at that. That's great. We're not able to deal elemental damage with the Huntress right now. However, she does have an ability that we are hopefully going to be able to unlock in due time. Obviously, it's just very much it's sort of RNG based a little bit, but I am going to, of course, be able to get that in a little bit of time. Obviously, I just need to level up, and then we'll be able to re-roll a bunch if we don't see anything else that we really desperately want to take. And obviously this is the default mode. There are a bunch of extra modes that they've added over the course of time. They have a one-hit mode, they have a boss rush mode, they have a hardcore mode, endless mode, every single thing that you could possibly want, basically. And yeah, it's really, really quite amazing what they have done here. Oh, look at that, I actually got a legendary, wonderful, and I even got an achievement for that. That's great. This is actually one of those games that I try to get quite a few of the achievements in. Usually I'm not really a person that likes a huge amount of achievement hunting or anything like that, but in this game, you know, these kinds of games really do get me. You know, they get me kind of addicted to that sort of thing. So I try and find that stuff as much as I possibly can. And yeah, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. And yeah, otherwise, as you can see, we are now absolutely destroying the horde here. And it's quite funny as well because obviously the medic, as I say, does need to level up to rank 3. Kills usually will unlock the next class. And generally you start off, I think, with 3 classes. I think you start off with 3 classes or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure. Electric damage multiplier. Okay, yeah, we're going to take the electric damage multiplier. That's obviously going to do more damage with our engineer here. We are going to do less damage with chemical damage, which I'm assuming is indeed the medic's damage. But the medic does damage over time rather than dealing damage you know, at once, basically. You know, the medic doesn't really have a huge amount of upfront damage, but will be able to do significant damage over time, as you can see from the big explosions that are currently going on there. Anyway, we're going to go for ability critical chance here, and generally, as you can see, you see all those pink numbers on the screen? That's basically, as far as I'm aware, that is chemical damage, but I'm only seeing like 9 damage here and there. It's not really going to be a significant amount, whereas the engineer is doing near to 400 damage with the electric shield. So of course that is going to be the thing that we're probably going to try to focus on here. I need to do, as far as I'm aware, I'm not entirely sure how much I need to do. I think I need to do 2 million damage with elemental to be able to unlock the pyro. So I'm very much hoping that we'll be able to unlock that in this very video. I'm spending my rerolls. There we go. There's the multi-shot. Okay, all I need to do is just 1 more level, and then hopefully we'll be able to get elemental damage with the Huntress, and then she'll be able to fire explosive arrows and other crazy cool things. Hopefully we'll be able to do something with that. I do have a decent amount of cold damage increases, so I'm very much hoping that I'm actually going to be able to get the cold damage upgrade for her. I think she has the ability to fire frozen arrows or cryo arrows or something like that, and hopefully that's going to help us out. But yeah, generally my current out of game skill build is focusing on ability damage as well, and ability cooldowns. Like, for example, look at this. This is actually fantastic. Generally, I would probably take this almost every day of the week, because cooldown reduction, being able to use your skills just that much more often, really makes a huge difference. It really does. And it's actually something I've used to beat a lot of the endless modes as well, because if you obviously have cooldown reduction, you're able to basically have energy shield active a huge amount of the time, and it's really going to make a huge difference to your overall survivability, because energy shield, as you can quite clearly tell, when it is active, it does so much damage to the regular zombies. Not so much the boss enemies, of course, but to the regular zombies, yeah, it will absolutely chunk them. So yeah, anyway, there's explosive arrows, as you can see right here. I'm not really looking for the explosive arrows, I'm looking for the other one. Can I get the other one, please? I'm not getting lucky. Freezing arrows, fantastic. There we go, there's the freezing arrows. Okay, so that's exactly what we wanted. Usually I will take explosive arrows every day of the week, because I personally think that explosive arrows are much better, but I have taken a number of upgrades that increase my frozen damage, and so that's the reason why I'm currently itemizing for that. But for me personally, I don't really like the freezing arrows that much. I think the freezing arrows are not that... I don't know whether they're that effective. I haven't really played with them that much, so it could just be that I'm having some kind of weird, thought process on that isn't really true. But my explosive arrow experience is a lot greater, and I have actually seen it do good damage, really, really good damage over time. And it has proven to be very effective. So I'm not sure how it's going to go with the frozen arrows. So we'll see what happens with that. But so far, so good. Everything seems to be going nicely here. And oh, wow, they've added some really, really cool, like elemental centric things right here. As you can see, we're doing even more electrical damage, which is exactly what we want. And yeah, I'm very much hoping... I'm actually going to see... I don't know whether we're going to be able to unlock the Pyro, but I basically just wanted to let you know that there is a new class available. So if you have played the game and maybe you're not aware of the update, then it's probably about time that you check it out, because it is going to allow you to play as the Pyro once you've unlocked it. And I'm hopeful that I will be able to unlock it so that I can show you it, because I'm excited about it myself. And hopefully we'll be able to do that, but I don't know how much I'm really going to get. That's the question. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. Am I even dealing frozen damage right now? Am I actually dealing frozen damage? I actually don't even know whether I'm dealing frozen damage, so that's a bit of a problem in itself. But yeah, I should probably try to level up the engineer's weapon as well, because the engineer does have an electrical weapon, so it probably makes sense. But we'll go for some more electrocution here, because that is obviously a big beastly thing. Anyway, what do we go for here? I guess experience modifier increase. That's probably going to be somewhat useful. Yeah, Killing Frenzy is obviously great as well. There's a bunch of extra... I mean, obviously, if you've played the game before, or if you've seen footage of it before, you'll know that there's just, some standard sort of power-ups that give you increased attack speed, increased movement speed, increased survival and armor, and so on and so forth. But then, obviously, they added this new thing with the military training, and I think that actually makes it very fun, because it just gives you that extra little bit of customization for your run, whatever it is. Okay, so we got more chemical damage there, but I'm not going to be going for that. I think I'm probably just going to go for probably weapon attack speed, I guess. I actually don't know. I'm not entirely sure which one would be the most useful here, but I have some pretty decent, at the moment at least, health regeneration, so I shouldn't have too many issues with surviving, at least right now, as long as I can actually avoid enemies somewhat decently. As you can see, I don't even have field surgery right now either. Generally, if you want to survive for a significant period of time, you really do want to get field regeneration as soon as possible. That is, well, maybe not as soon as possible, but when you get to the later stages of a run, you really do want to try to consider it, unless you have some kind of way to do that. And there you go. I unlocked the 3rd rank for the medic, which is fantastic. Ability damage, legendary. Yes, let's do that so we can get even more damage out of our energy shield. That's great. That's exactly what I love to see. And otherwise, apart from that, we will hopefully be able to get that 2 million in damage for the Pyro. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how much we actually do over the course of a run, but I don't think it's going to be that... I don't think it's that difficult to get. I think it's just a case of just playing the game, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll just go for more freezing arrows here. I think that probably makes the most sense. But yeah, I'm going to show you afterwards anyway how many classes are actually available and everything, and then we'll see what actually happens with it. Maybe we'll be able to get the amount of elemental damage that we need to unlock the Pyro, because, as I say, I'm very excited to see what it's all about and what kind of builds would actually work with it quite nicely. I'm going to assume, obviously, because it is a Pyro, it's all about maybe damage over time. I'm going to assume maybe damage over time or something like that. Annoying Trumpet. When you get hit, you have a 25% chance to create an explosion around the survivors, pushing enemies back. That might actually be somewhat useful. Increase the duration of the picked up buff-type power-ups by 0.5 seconds for each stack of this item. Not entirely sure if I really want to go for that. I'll go for the Annoying Trumpet. I think that sounds pretty funny. Alright. Let's actually move into people and see whether we're actually going to get that to activate. How does it work? Doesn't seem to be working for me right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a 25% chance. Maybe it... I mean, they're all just dying. That's the thing. Enemies are just dying very, very easily here. Anyway, I'm going to go for a taser here. I'd like to try to level up my taser a little bit. There we go. Deal a total of 1 million electric damage in a single run. Yes, so there you go. That's what we've actually done so far. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do... hopefully I'll be able to get to 2 million. Well, that seems to be it. There's only 30 seconds remaining, and I haven't really gotten close to being eliminated because, as I say, I have played this game for quite some time in my off-screen, spare time, basically, and I kind of know how to survive for quite some time here because, obviously, let's face it, I have done the endless mode on pretty much, on both levels that they have available at the moment, and yeah, we're pretty much done here. And I did, by the way, receive a notification that I have unlocked the Pyro, so I'm actually very excited about that, and we're going to get to see that in just a moment. So I just wanted to show you the ending of this just so you can see that I actually did complete it, and then we're obviously going to take a look at our stats and everything like that, so you can get to see exactly just how much damage I did. I'm actually kind of curious myself, to be honest, but we know that we did at least 2 million elemental damage, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. I never would have expected myself to do that much, but yes, as you can see, look at the engineer. Look at the engineer, literally 1.8 million damage with abilities by himself. That is actually insane. And as you can see, we also had ice damage modifiers and all kinds of crazy stuff right there. I did 3.2 million damage total, and I'm going to assume that obviously 2 million of that, or quite a lot of that actually, is going to be indeed elemental. So we unlocked a bunch of extra things, as you can see. We unlocked a bunch of extra maybe achievements, maybe some abilities here and there, and we can also go to training as well if we want to. So as you can see, I now have 16 training points, and this is my current skill build, right, by the way, so if you'd like to check this out, obviously you can use this yourself if you so desire. For me personally, I found this to be probably far and away some of the best that I have seen for survival, mostly because, I mean, let's face it, basically it's all about your abilities dealing more damage. It's not really about your weapons dealing damage. So if you want to focus on weapons, then you can obviously just swap those two things around, and that's obviously going to be exactly what you want. Anyway, there's the Pyro. Whoa, he's looking pretty cool. Okay. Look at that, his lack of fear is an asset when it comes to fighting the Horde using various elemental damage sources. Though unpredictable and impulsive, his true nature is that of a kind soul who will walk through Inferno to help his comrades survive the hell on Earth. And as you can see, it does give you increased elemental damage as a result. Let's play on the new level here. We'll play default just because, but as you can see, you do have endless, hardcore, boss rush, and one hit. I actually haven't unlocked one hit because I haven't been able to complete the boss rush just yet, but, well, you know, that's all in due time, right? All in due time. Anyway, I need 5,000 zombie kills to be able to unlock the first, well, basically the second rank for the Pyro. Oh, this is a slow weapon. Okay, this is really interesting, actually. This is a melee weapon as well. Okay, I was not expecting that. I was actually expecting him to start with some kind of flamethrower, but of course that's going to be a much more advanced weapon, I assume. So we're going to have to deal with a very slow fire axe kind of weapon here. And then we're going to obviously see what else we have available. So he has a Molotov cocktail, which is a 25-second cooldown. Okay, that's quite harsh. No pain, no gain. Look at this. Weapon cooldown reduction 30%, elemental damage 40%. Pain tolerance allows you to shape your suffering into strengths, improving your stats the less health you have. That's actually incredible. But yeah, the reload time of the fire axe does not get improved. However, I am interested to see what the next level of the fire axe is going to be. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play with this. This is a very methodical way of playing this game, because obviously most of the time whenever you upgrade your weapon, you're going to get some kind of reload speed increase, so it's gonna make it so that you can reload just that much faster. But yeah, there we go, we got a small reload increase. Okay, bear in mind it is still going to take a while to swing. There we go. And hopefully I will be able to kill that spider. Oh, he's annoying, isn't he? Look at him. Look at him after me right there. Now, there we go. He's dead now. Okay. Yeah, there is an SOS. I realize that, but I'm not going for that right now. I'd like to try and level up first. There we go. Let's get that done. I'm actually going to try to level up once more just so that I can get the fire axe leveled. Because basically what can happen is if you take an additional survivor, of course you have access to additional abilities at that moment. Or shall we say additional choices on your level up. And that's going to be a little bit problematic if you want to, you know, level up something specific. Like, for example, I want to get the blowtorch. And as you can see, we now have the blowtorch available. So look at this. This is very different. Okay, this is a really, really nice weapon. The fire axe, super, super slow. The blowtorch, on the other hand, this is looking really, really cool. So that just goes to show. The Pyro is a very slow character initially, that then turns into... well, if you'll apologize, well, shall we say, if you'll excuse the the expression, it turns into a bit of a firecracker, doesn't he? Yes, yes. And we have a reload speed of 1 second here as well after a while. That's actually pretty crazy. All right, so I'm going to make my way over to the various things here. We're going to go for dodge chance, I think. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Weapon cooldown reduction is calling to me. I think that seems like a pretty nice idea. But yeah, you can see exactly how much damage the blowtorch is doing. Unfortunately, we are now going to get absolutely murdered by this. Going to go for the blowtorch once again. And, ooh, what do we have here? Fire damage modifier. Oh, yeah. I will definitely take one of those. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, so we've got a bunch of mummies that are attempting to kill us now. So that is not exactly great. But thankfully, we were able to get out of there relatively easily. Because the blowtorch is such... I feel like the blowtorch is an incredibly powerful weapon. I'm actually going to liberate so that I gain a level up straight away, and then we're going to go for something a little bit different here. So I'm going to go for Molotov cocktail, I guess. We'll try that out and we'll see how it goes. Because I'm actually wanting to focus on the Pyro so heavily here that we're going to forego getting any other survivors for the moment. If I see the engineer, then I might go for the engineer, but I kind of want to see what happens with the Pyro and see how far we can actually get with him, because personally for me, I think we can probably get really, really far here. I might go for operation planning actually. 10% additional experience sounds pretty fun, even though, you know, increasing my ability well, increasing my ability's power would probably be much, much more useful. But yeah, there's the engineer. I'm kind of wanting to go for this, but I don't really want the engineer because he is very strong. I'm gonna just go for this right now, and we'll see what happens. There's another Molotov level up. I mean, you can see the blowtorch. I don't think I actually have another level of weapon here. If I don't have another level of weapon, then, well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? That's gonna be maybe a slight issue. That might actually be a... Yeah, I think there isn't actually anything else. So I will have to just go for no pain, no gain. And then we'll see what else we want to take, because it seems like we don't have any additional things to go for here. So that's obviously going to be a bit of an issue in itself. Okay, so I'm going to go for wrench, because that gives me ability damage, ability critical chance, and all that wonderful stuff. And if we do get another survivor, I'll probably go, as I say, for the engineer, or maybe for the medic or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Ability duration sounds pretty fun. Let's go for that. And actually, lifesteal might be really, really powerful with this character as well, because he is able to burn enemies en masse. So you're probably going to get some really, really good benefits from that. We're going to go for no pain, no gain here. And how much damage can I actually deal with this thing now? Probably an insane amount. Gonna have to move away from the worm. It's gonna do massive damage. Yeah, as you can see, the mummies also absolutely chunk. If they hit you, they're gonna do so much. They really are. Okay, there we go. Nice. Yeah, so we are obviously gonna be able to then increase our damage even further here. And even further. Look at that. Don't even need the weapon cooldown anymore, because I have 0 cooldown reduction, or should we say reload time on the blowtorch, because we just got all the upgrades. So I'm actually going to re-roll this now, and we're going to go for the engineer, I suppose, because reducing skill cooldown is probably going to be what we want to go for, isn't it? Or do we want to go... No, we don't need reload speed, so the SWAT isn't actually going to be useful. Yeah, I guess I'll go for the engineer. I guess that sounds like the best idea. But yeah, We basically just need to kill 5,000 enemies, and then I'll be able to get to rank 2 with the Pyro, and that's really cool, because then we'll be able to unlock additional weapons, additional skills, and then we'll be able to fully realize, or attempt to at least more fully realize, how the Pyro is actually going to play at max rank. Obviously, he's going to need to get a little bit further than that afterwards as well in terms of getting to rank 3. So we're just going to go for more no pain, no gain, and then I'm going to be probably getting the elemental shield, or should we say the electric shield with the engineer, because that, I believe, is counted as elemental damage. Now, by all means, if you've played the game and you know a little bit more than I do about it, then by all means let me know whether you consider that to be elemental damage. I'm pretty sure it is, but I could be wrong. Anyway, when your HP reaches 0, revives you with 50% health points, after which it breaks, becoming the Jewel of Death, which increases your max HP by 50%. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, we could go for this, or we could go for this. I'm thinking going for Coffee Cup right now. I think that sounds like the best idea, because that basically gives us so much cooldown reduction with our abilities. That's what we like. And otherwise, I'm just gonna burn them all. We're gonna burn them all, aren't we? Well, this is what my build is looking like now. Yeah, it's actually pretty insane. Now, one thing that I gotta say about the Pyro right here, at this moment in time, obviously this is a rank 1 Pyro, so we don't currently have more advanced abilities to use just yet. But from what I've seen so far, it's looking really, really strong. However, the Molotov ability, I'm not sure if I like the radius of the ability right now. I think it might be a little too small, but that could literally just be my thought process on that, because I don't know whether you've noticed it so far, but you see the difference between the electric turret. You look at the electric turret, right? Because I have one of those with my engineer. I've upgraded that maximum. And you see the radius of that in comparison to the small orange circle over there. That's the Molotov circle. So whenever an enemy runs into the electric turrets area, obviously they're going to be taking significant electrical damage. And when they run into the Molotov's area, they're going to take significant fire damage. However, the area for the Molotov is quite, well, in comparison to the two things, it is very, very small. However, you've got to bear in mind that the Molotov itself does not gain, as far as I'm aware at least, I don't think it does. It doesn't gain area of effect increases from level ups. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it, but from what I've seen so far, the electric turret obviously does. So that obviously is the main thing to bear in mind there. But that's what I've noticed so far, and that's kind of like the feedback that I would personally talk about in regards to the Pyro's class. I obviously, as I say, haven't tried the rank 2 version or indeed the rank 3 version of the Pyro just yet, but I will no doubt have actually unlocked it. I'm pretty sure I've unlocked it by now. Have I? Have I actually unlocked it? I have no idea whether I have. Anyway, we're going to take glass cannon here, even though that is going to make me much easier to kill. What do you bet that as soon as I've taken that, I'm probably going to end up dying? That would be very, very funny indeed. Yes, anyway, I'm just going to continue taking abilities as much as I can. As you can quite clearly tell, probably my favorite class is the engineer, followed by the ninja. I think both of them are absolutely fantastic, but every single class has a particular build, or builds, shall we say, that you can use to be viable. Every single one is viable, with a couple of caveats, of course, because let's face it, some of them are going to be better at certain things, over others. For example, if you're going to try to do endless, it's probably a good idea to take things that are going to be relatively decent at dealing with the majority of enemies. For example, the engineer is very good with its energy shield, and then obviously the ninja itself with its absolutely insane AoE damage. That's obviously going to be extremely good too. So obviously those are the two things that you've got to bear in mind if you're doing something specific, like if you want to get an achievement from the endless mode, or you just want to get as far as you possibly can, then of course certain classes are going to do a better job than others. However, that really, I don't know whether that really comes into it that much, because there are so many builds that are viable. I might actually end up dying here before we get to the 20-minute mark. That would be kind of sad, wouldn't it? I'm actually going to try a little bit harder here, just for the moment. I'm just going to need to get these health pickups right now. Yeah, the main problem that I'm having right now is that I don't have the medic. If I had the medic with me right now, I'd probably be absolutely fine, because let's face it, the medic is insane as well. She is so strong at keeping your party alive, because she basically gives you 50% increased healing bonuses, and she also has the ability to give you lifesteal and passive health regeneration as well. Oh, look at that. I just unlocked the second rank for the Pyro just now. Right. So it did take me quite some time to actually get to this point. I'm quite surprised, actually, that it took me that long, but oh well, never mind. I am very intrigued and curious to see exactly how much damage the Pyro has done in comparison to the Engineer. But you've got to bear in mind, of course, that the Engineer, my Engineer at least, is rank 3. So he has absolutely every single thing available to him, and I'm not currently... I don't think I'm really itemizing that much for the Pyro, because, well, I'm not entirely sure what he's actually good at right now. Because as I say, the Molotov... What I've seen so far, the Molotov does really good damage. It does really good damage, and the blowtorch is probably one of my favorite weapons as well. Although, to be fair, it is a lower level weapon, because of course I don't have the other ones available yet. I'm going to assume that there's going to be something really strong later on down the line with him. But anyway, point is, the blowtorch with its upgrades right now has no reload time, so it basically is on constantly, which is absolutely fantastic. So that means that you always have some kind of defense, and I am dealing insane damage with it. As you saw, once we started to actually get upgrades with the blowtorch, because obviously, as I said before, the Pyro is really slow to begin with its fire axe and everything. But then you literally just have constant damage coming out from the blowtorch as long as you have it fully upgraded. And I'm going to assume that whatever weapon comes after that, it might be a similar deal with that. Not entirely sure, of course, but you know, it would be pretty cool to find out. Anyway, we're just going to level up the Engineer to end with this, and hopefully I'm not going to die. Oh no. Oh, that was close. Oh wow, that was really close. That would have been really sad, actually, for me to die at the last hurdle. Wouldn't that have been terrible? Okay, I'm just going to go for some lifesteal here. Try to get some HP back. I'm actually not entirely sure if my lifesteal is even working right now for any of these things, but hopefully it is, and hopefully I'm not going to get chunked by some of these mummies, because let's face it, they're really damaging. I'm just going to try and stay away from them as best I can. And obviously we've got a bunch of bosses here too, and if you really want to, obviously endless mode, as I say, one of the best ways that you can deal with endless mode really is literally just by delaying the opponent. Apart from the smaller zombies, of course, the common zombies, because the boss zombies are going to be pretty difficult. You know, unless you have the right setup, the exact right setup. But as you can see, the Pyro has done pretty decent weapon damage, 500,000, and decent ability damage. But if you take a look at the difference between the Pyro and the Engineer, you see the Engineer's energy shield did 1.1 million, the electric turret did 1.2 million. Obviously, the weapon itself does basically nothing from the Engineer in comparison, because you can see here that the blowtorch did 490,000 by itself, whereas I had the Tesla for quite some time with the Engineer, and it just doesn't do that much. So if you want a weapon build, I think Pyro is definitely the way to go. Obviously, you know, the Ninja is much better at weapon builds, in my opinion. But yeah, we unlocked a bunch of extra things, so I'm going to actually have a look. I want to see what those extra things actually are. Can we actually see them? No, we can't actually see them, but you can see here that it is something, whatever this is. Whatever this is, I am going to assume it is indeed a probably one of two upgrades for the blowtorch. And so this is probably the flamethrower. I'm going to assume this is a flamethrower of some kind. And then you have a melee weapon, which seems to be an axe that's on fire or something like that. I think that seems to be what it is. Yeah, so I keep calling it the ninja, but it's actually the ghost. The ghost class is the thing that is going to be extremely powerful for you if you want to do endless mode. Engineer, ghost, and medic, or something else. Basically, I did it with Engineer, Ghost, and Huntress, I think, or something like that. Engineer, Ghost, Tank, either one of those is really, really good. Obviously, SWAT you can use as well if you want to go for a turret-based build, and this is exactly the reason why I think this game is absolutely fantastic, because there are just so many different ways to play it. Anyway, if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description, as I said before. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.